So hello everyone, it's BYG. Got me back with another video. Today we got something new on the channel. I will be reviewing an anime called Yuri on Ice simply because it caught my attention. It's something very new that's only had like more than a handful of episodes, so I'm going to be doing daily reviews up until episode 6, and then I'm going to be reviewing episode 7, 8, so on and so forth. But this episode, I really did enjoy it. It has a lot of backstory, and we get a lot of history on Yuri and Victor, mostly pertaining towards Yuri and his fandom towards Victor. Because within the first 15 seconds of the episode, literally Yuri talks about how when I was young, like we get a flashback of Yuri how he was young, and he looks into the camera, or well, he's looking at the camera of Victor when he was young as well, probably somewhere in his teens, because he's 27 now. Yuri sort of gets like motivated. He's like, I'm so shocked, like this guy's such a good skater. And then we progress towards the modern day for like a little bit, and then there's another time skip, and we see Victor, and he's in the Sochi Grand Prix finale, and he won 5 times consecutively, and that's amazing. 5 times back and forth Victor's won. From this we can infer that Victor's a very good prodigy. They call him Russia's legend, which is a very prestigious name, as Russia is a really big country as well. And all these cameras are taking pictures and recording Victor as he's winning these rewards back and forth, and then bam, it just skips to Yuri while he's earned a spot in the Grand Prix for the first time. So this is very shocking to him. Bam, it just pops up a news article saying that Yuri still needs to work on his nerves. He lost. He got 6th place throughout that tournament, and they were saying, oh, his performance wasn't as it should have been. And we get this cool little explanation on Yuri. It's like a little, I don't know if it's chibi, I really don't know, I'm not a huge fan of anime. But then it's like, oh, we get this whole bio. I'll put a picture of it right now. The main important thing is that Yuri is 23 out of everything. Throughout the Sochi Grand Finale, he reached number 6, which is the worst place. Now the thing is, it's really impressive. Now, Yuri's on the number 6 spot. He's still considered one of the best figure skaters in the world, but when you're comparing it to 6 of the best, he's on the bottom, and he's just making Japan look bad. He's even tried moving to places like Detroit, which is a good strategy to make yourself more of a better skater, but it simply did not work. And as it was previously stated in the episode on how he wasn't acting like he usually does when it comes to skating, we get the reason why is because there was pressure towards him and his family dog died. We get more of an explanation towards his dog later on in the episode, but the thing is, a loss is a loss, regardless of even if it's like a little pet. He treated it more as a family member, and once you lose a family member, that's very significant, and it impacts how you play in generally anything. So that's the reason why, and that is, in my opinion, a good reason on why Yuri came to the 6th spot. And then it skips to Yuri going into the bathroom, and he's talking to his mother, and he's like, mother, were you watching? And then his mom's like, no, we were having a public viewing, everyone got to see. And man, does that make it more of an embarrassment towards Yuri and his family. And he starts crying. He's like, I'm so sorry, I never meant this. He's like, I'm embarrassed, stuff like that, which he should feel like, because it's not something that's proper. And he starts crying, and then bam, out of nowhere, this dude just kicks the damn door, and you're questioning, who the hell is this man? And he is the Junior Grand Prix gold medalist, Yuri Pirozhki. And this man, he's called a Russian punk. He looks so intimidating and scary. Yuri's like, oh, crackling up. He starts like crying almost. And this dude's like, hey, I'm gonna be competing in something next year, and we don't need 2 Yuris anymore, so you should just retire, man. And then, damn, he just like looks at him, he's like, moron. Whilst Yuri's walking away, a newscaster comes up to him. He's like, Yuri, don't quit. And then Yuri's like, sir, why are you making assumptions? And then he's like, what will you do after college? Will you still train in Detroit? Asking all these questions that sort of has to mentally instill in Yuri's head, because he's lost, he's in humiliation in Japan, and he's thinking, oh, I'll take over the coach's spot. But the thing is, how do you feel about this? And then bam, as he looks up, there's like a dog. He reminisces about his dog at home who passed away, and his name is Vichan. And then it just skips to the man, the king, the prodigy Victor, looking at him and saying, he's trying to critique him. He's like, your sequence. The other Yuri, the douchebag, is like, yo, who the hell cares, bro? We don't need this shit. Yuri looks at Victor as inspiration, is like, man, I wish I could talk to him, and the only time I ever do get to talk to him, I'm a failure. And he turns around and he starts smiling at Yuri, and then Yuri just walks away. And at first coming into the show, a lot of people are telling me that this show is very, very funny. And I was like, I haven't seen anything funny. Yet we get to skip, and it's Yuri going down an escalator talking about how he hasn't been to this place called Hakusetsu in 5 years, and you guys will understand what that place is later on. And bam, just out of nowhere, while he's going down the escalator, he sees all these pictures of him on the wall, and then out of nowhere, this chick says Yuri, and he's jumping around doing all these little funny flips and shit. And her name is Mikano, and she's like, welcome back after 5 long years. So from this we can say that it's his home, and it is his home. This is his town that he grew up in. And then these people all in this building are saying, is that Yuri? Because he is well known, he's on the wall, he's he's representing Japan, so he is a person that's very well known. And we get this really cool explanation on what he is. The following scenes are very much filler-esque and they really don't play much of an important part of the story, but the most important part of this episode, in my opinion, actually the second most important part in this episode, is when Yuri comes home, because it's been 5 years since he's seen his parents or anyone. His mother starts running at him. Her name is Hiriko. And this part is where it made me laugh. I was dying. Miniko, she's very much a clown. I would say she's probably the comedy relief of the show. She asked if Yuri's mother lost weight and she's like, no. And then she gets like her eyes start to crowl in like a very much like a Batman type. And she's like, hey, Yuri, I've wondered since I've seen you. When he first arrived, she's like, what the hell? What do you have in your stomach? And bam, she grabs him. She pries him actually by the neck and puts him on the floor. And the face is so funny. You can look at his nostrils as well. She's like, take your clothes off. Bam, we see it. And then he just has this gigantic, I'm talking like a basketball, probably even an elevator shaft opening cut. It's just really big. And then the father's like, wow, you're like, your mother and you are identical. And Miniko spills the beans on his name as well, and his name is Toshio-san. And what I like about the show, it does a very good job at bringing humor, sad, happy, all into one episode. And this funny scene about Yuri's weight gain, and then it skips to him looking at Vichan, who his dog has passed away, and that's what very much distracted him in the whole Sochi Grand Final Prix tournament. And he sees someone, Mori-chan, and she's like, it's been a while. And she asks the question on how long are you going to stay here in Hasetsu? Can you help out with our hot springs? And we get a whole backstory on this hot springs, and it's pretty much where this castle inside Yuri's home location, where it contains all these hot springs, but majority of them are gone, and his family, the Utopia Akatsui, is the final one. Throughout everything, it's the last one that is standing. That's cool, and I feel like we're gonna get more detail on the following episodes, because note that I did not see any following episodes. Every time I watch an episode, I'm gonna do a review, and then after that, I'm gonna do this because this is basically like a live reaction in a sense. I feel like we're gonna get a backstory on Yuri's family, since he does have this, I wouldn't say prestigious, actually it is prestigious, this prestigious hot spring that basically is the last one standing in that castle. And the place is called the Ice Castle, and the girl there's like, oh, the hours are basically over because it's nighttime. She turns around for literally a moment, and then Yuri's like, it's been a while, Yuko. Girl's very much excited. She runs to him. She's like, yeah, you can come and skate, go ahead for it. And then we get this whole backstory on who Yu-chan is, and basically she is the person, she was Yuri's partner when they were skating. She's 2 years older than him, so which means she's 25 years old. And Yuri very much looks up to her as he says that she is my idol. And Yuri has this attraction for her because he sort of blushes when he looks at her, which means that we might get a relationship in the future. Maybe it's like Yu-Gi-Oh where it gets hinted, but it never happened. We get these flashbacks, and Yuri's looking at the screen and he sees that Victor got a dog, and he got a dog as well. And this dog plays a very shocking role in this episode. And Yuri's like, they're at the skating ring. Yuri's like, I want to show you something. And basically for the next 2 minutes, it's Yuri and Victor. It's like basically zooming in on Yuri, and then it cuts to Victor skating. And the animation is so clean. You see the detail, and it's basically Yuri's copying everything that Victor's doing, and Yuko is very much shocked. She's like, that's so awesome. And these little three twins just come out of nowhere. And it's so funny, they each roast him. The first one's like, Yuri, you got really fat. The other one's like, are you ready to retire? And she's like, the other one's like, you haven't had a girlfriend. And we can tell that Yuri probably hasn't had a girlfriend because he's kind of shy. He's a very shy dude. And then after that whole copy and paste of Victor, we see this dude that literally a year ago barged in on Yuri in the bathroom, and his name's Yuri as well. And he is Victor's student. Victor is teaching Yuri on how to become just like him. As I talked earlier on in the review, where we see the fandom and how much Yuri looks up to Victor, because we go into his room and these are posters from 5 years, right? And then he gets a message. And this is the comedy relief, right? What's so good about this anime and the show is that it goes from a serious tone to a funny tone in a matter of seconds. So basically, Nishoguri's children uploaded Yuri copying pasting Victor's skating style, and it went viral. And then Yuri's father said it came with a very charming foreign guest, and he's in the hot spring, and Yuri's face just lights up. He's like, his glasses drop, he starts running, starts tripping over everything. While he's running, we see this cut and paste. Basically, it's like an animation style that's very recurring in the show, a cut and paste, as it was cut and pasting towards when Yuri was copying Victor's style in the skating ring. So we're seeing that, and then we see Yuri going in the hot spring, and he's basically nude. We see a zoom above his ass. I was like, what? And then he does this little very manly pose and just sticks his hand out. He's like, from today I'm going to be your coach, and I'm gonna teach you how to win the Grand Prix. So that's basically a rundown of this episode. I very much enjoyed it. I felt like the animation was good. We got a little bit too much detail on Yuri's backstory. I think a lot of it was condensed in this episode, but it felt smooth. It didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel too slow. Like usually when I watch shows, I'm like, oh, this shit's boring. I did not go on Twitter. I did not go on any other applications while watching the show, and I was very instilled into it. Like, I really did like it. So this is going at the right pace. I don't know how the next episode is going to be like, but come by tomorrow and you'll see my next episode review. I just want to say that this episode, I give it a 9 out of 10. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great day, and be sure to subscribe for more Yuri on Ice and Yu-Gi-Oh content.